It's the most wonderful time of the year, and with help from Safeway, it doesn't have to be stressful. Safeway can help stretch your holiday budget and make things extra special. Get choice beef rib roast, just $6.99 a pound. Or Hormel Cure 81 spiral sliced ham, $1.59 a pound, limit 2. Pair with sweet potatoes for only 49 cents a pound. For more great deals on festive favorites, save up to $80 with in-app coupons. Tastier meats, fresher produce, happier holidays. Safeway, happy to be your new neighborhood store at 950 East Commercial Boulevard, Oakland Park.
Blog Talk Radio.
The year, 1888. The place, London's East End. Dead and mutilated bodies are popping up all over, from Stamford to Whitechapel. Jack the Ripper is leaving his mark, and the city's on edge. Yvonne Mason is back with a tale of murder and millinery. The Rhodes Hat Factory is booming while the body count rises. Why now? How are these hats connected? Has the Hatter gone mad? Mad Hatter and Yvonne Mason. Available now on Amazon.com.
Oh, that's great.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is Off the Chain. I am your host, Yvonne Mason, and yes, that is a piece of shameless self-promotion. My good friend, Miss Dunham, also known as Odd, did that for me, and I tell you what, every time I hear that commercial for my historical fiction, The Mad Hatter, it just gives me laughter all over because he does such a wonderful job. Any of you that are in this industry, whether it's music or writing or business, if you want some good ad, get hold of him. He's listed on my page as Christopher Dunham, and he is exceptional. The man is insane, but I love him. He's great. So,
yeah, he scared me when he said the body count's rising. I almost hung up.
I love that.
Yes,
I love that.
It is an interesting ad. Tonight, ladies and gentlemen, I have two wonderful, wonderful ladies on my show. One of them is trying to pretend she's sick, but we're going to ignore that. Arthur, Barbara Watkins, and Betty Dravis, who is her partner in crime. Barbara resides in Missouri with her husband and her loyal boxweiler Hooch. And in her writings, she loves to invoke a false sense of security and expectations as she leads her readers into a world of the unknown. I've read her books. Trust me, that is a very true statement. Her articles on various subjects, short stories, and poetry have appeared in 2008 New York Skyline Review and on several online publications. Cold Coffee Magazine accepted her article, A Testament to Poets, for their second issue, released in print, and it is available at Cold Coffee Magazine. In 2010, Barbara collaborated with New Zealand director Dimi Nakov on a screenplay for a short movie entitled BlindSide, in which her name appears in the film end credits for voiceover monologue. BlindSide was accepted into the Cannes Short Film Corner as part of the 65th Festival de Cannes, as well as the 7th Cyprus International Film Festival for 2012, and many, many more prestigious film festivals. Many of Barbara's short stories and novellas, Thorn of an Innocent Soul, have been optioned to New Zealand film production company Zodiac Entertainment for screenplay adaptations to films. Her charitable contributions include supporting Partner in Hope program through the St. Jude's Children Research Hospital, and I want to talk about that a little bit with her tonight because this is a very, very, very important cause. Now, Barbara's previous publications, Mortal Ambition, Awakened Spirit, Howling Scream, Six Pack of Blood, which she co-authored with my other guest and partner in crime, Betty Dravis, Six Pack of Fears, which she co-authored again with Betty Dravis. Anthologies include Hope Whispers, which was compiled by Lynn C. Johnston, Live Life, The Daydreamer's Journal, compiled by Sir Ricky McGentleman, Satan's Holiday, an anthology of scary stories, compiled by yours truly, me, and Writing Tips from Authors, compiled by Patty Roberts. Her article on SUDC, Sudden Unexplained Death in Children, which is titled Levi's Story, appeared in MJ Magazine, editor and creator Fran 3 years ago. Welcome, ladies. I am so glad both of y'all are here tonight.
Thank you,
Thank you
Yvonne.
so much.
You're welcome.
Very,
so, Betty, you
very
were
happy
hang
to
up
be here.
Well, I'm glad you're here. You were going to hang up when you heard Chris say that the body count was rising?
Oh, I love that. That was great. That was great.
He is a hoot and a half, I'm going to tell you. The man knows how to make an ad.
Now,
Now,
my goodness.
Yeah, we could use
Barbara.
him on some of our ads for our theory.
I mean to tell you. Yeah, we'll have to look into that.
Yeah, he's on my Facebook page.
Christopher Donovan.
Make friends. Yeah, Christopher Dunham, Dunham.
Dunham, okay.
Look
Yeah,
him
I thought
up.
you-
Friend him. Tell him that I sent him to you and that y'all need some ad work done. He is currently living in Kentucky. He just got married.
Oh,
so
okay.
I'm sure that he would appreciate
My
your work.
parents were born in Kentucky, so I'm
See?
indirectly from Kentucky.
So there you go.
Yeah,
Now-
great. Yeah.
Miss Barbara,
So
before
it's
we start
Barbara's
talking
night tonight, in my mind,
Well-
and I'm just along to tell the highlights of something new that's happening in her life. So I really want Barbara to do the, I want her to be the star tonight. So if your voice holds out and everything, you know what I mean.
Oh,
If not,
well.
Because she's
we'll
been a
drop
little
back
under
and
the
punt.
weather.
We'll drop back and punt. So
I'm just
Barbara,
here to help.
Before we get started on all of your wonderful things that have happened and are going to happen, when I did, me and my bounty hunting witchy ways, when I started reading about you, you have a very interesting history because a lot of your books deal in paranormal and spirits and ghosts. Explain to the audience how you got involved in all of that. What happened?
Well, and it's been part of my life ever since I was a very young girl. I would have these dreams, and of course I didn't know at the time. I was very young, so I didn't understand what was going on. But I would have these visions of different things happening. Some of them tragic, But I didn't really understand. I was just about 9 years old, and it actually started to happen right after my stepfather passed away, and I was just turned 9, and I had several just really tragic dreams about things. I dreamed about my grandmother and my sister. I'd say I dreamed about it. I didn't really dream it. I would just be sitting there watching TV, and your mind wanders, and my mind would wander, and I would see this play out, and then I couldn't understand why was I seeing this.
Was it like premonitions?
Yes, it was, but it was like while I was awake, at this time, and the very first time that it hit me like that is this happened. I had this premonition of my grandmother and my sister having this terrible car wreck, and it was just, I can remember it like yesterday. I was waiting to go to school. I was watching cartoon and getting ready to go to school that morning, and my grandmother had taken my older sister to the airport to get on a plane, and anyway, long story short, they did have a really bad wreck. My grandmother was in the hospital for about 4 months, and she almost didn't make it, but she pulled through, and my sister was a lot luckier than her. But everything played out exactly like, and I just, I kept that to myself. But I was just tore up about it. I couldn't understand. And then, like I said, as I got older and these things kept happening, I started writing them down in a journal, and I would try to write down my dreams and different things like that. And I kept up with that book for many, many years. I'd say up until about the past 15 years. And when we moved, well, it's been almost 20. The last time we moved, I lost that book. I don't know what happened to it. I don't know where it went. But I had poetry in there and stuff like that. And then speed ahead some, I had a 3-year-old grandson that started talking. He would come to me and he would tell me things that, that sounded much like what I had experienced. He was 3, almost 4. I thought he was dreaming them and that he was just having these dreams, this and that. And then my daughter would tell me about different things that was going on at the house and with him, and I thought, oh, that sounds a whole lot like what I went through, And so we had a get-together one afternoon, and we was all sitting here, and I was in the living room speaking with my husband, somebody else, and he come running in there to where I was at. He was about 4, and he said, Mama, he said, then people said they keep wanting me to go. They want me to go through that red door. And I said, what red door, baby? I said, what are you talking about? He said, they want me to get behind that red door. And I said, is this something I said, did you dream this? And then he just looked at me like he was in a daze or something, and he turned around and run off, And I'm like, what was that? And so I didn't question him about it. I waited a little bit, and it was 2 or 3 days later, and I mentioned that to him. What was she talking about, baby? What? And it was like he didn't remember, doing that. Didn't remember coming in there and saying that to me. And these kinds of things kept, he kept coming every once in a while and tell me these different things like this. But I told my daughter, I said, well, I had never written anything before that, and I thought, man, I could use some of this, and jot it down. And she was like, yeah, well, and I said, why don't I just call it Behind the Red Door, And so that's where my first novella came from, was from,
and you let your imagination help you too, right?
Yes,
yeah.
Yes, exactly.
That's cool.
And so that's where the writing come in at, and once I got that down, and then I was just hooked. I was hooked. I thought, well, you know what? I could throw a little bit of everything, that's happened to me, or that I know that's happened, or just throw a little bit in, add a little bit, do this, and so that's really where where my writing experience started, the want to do it, and so I know it sounds really strange, but
was writing something that you always wanted to do, or did you have another dream in mind?
It really wasn't. Up until that time, it really wasn't. I'd never really thought about writing, or that I could even possibly do that I could put pen to paper like that. But then once I did, then it was like I was hooked. I couldn't get the stuff down fast enough. I had so much, that's still like it is now. I have so many different ideas that I'll have a number of notebooks with just, 4 or 5 things, going at it. No, I used to do like many a little girl. I would stand in front of I thought, what, I'm going to act. That's what I'm going to do. That's what I want to do. I want to act, You know, I'd sing in the mirror with my hairbrush and dress up, and you know, I wanted to act. so I didn't make it to that.
No, you started writing.
That's why I was. Writing wasn't glamorous enough for me. I wanted to be an actress too.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. Before we get into the nuts and bolts of all the exciting news and what you guys have got going on, tell our audience about Partners in Hope, because this is one of your passions, and I love for my audience to know that my guests have passions, and they're very passionate about their passions. It's very important to them, and that if they want to be a part of that particular passion, how they can go and find it. So tell them about Partners in Hope.
Yeah. Well, Partners in Hope, St. Jude, you know, all you got to do, you know, is go to St. Jude's website. But the thing is, you know, our children, and they are the most precious, you know, that there is, precious thing there is. And these little children, you know, they deserve a chance. And these families, you know, St. Jude, like you know, everyone knows, you know, they take care of the families. They have the best care, the best knowledge, doctors, and the easiest way. I mean, when you think, like, you know, $19 a month, you could save a child, you know. You could save more than one child. And $19 a month, you just throw it away. I mean, you just, you know, that's you know, 3 or 4 cups of coffee, whatever. It's just it's so important.
Well, the children are our future, Barbara and Betty, and if we throw our future away, we got nothing. And I know that's bad English, but we got nothing.
We got nothing.
And if those children that are in that hospital, if one of them, just one of them, survives and lives to adulthood, they could find a cure for asthma so another child doesn't have to die.
That's right. That's exactly right.
So I agree.
That's exactly right.
Is
all you have to do is give up one pizza a month.
That's it.
One pizza.
Yeah. And
then you
that's
could be
a small
saving.
sacrifice.
St. Jude's is an old, highly respected, Danny Thomas favorite. I think he founded it, but I'm not sure.
He did.
Well,
his daughter
he was a wonderful man.
Yeah, he was. And his
Admire
daughter
you for that,
continues
Barbara.
to take care of it. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is Barbara's passion, and it should be our passion because, those of you who are followers of my show know how strongly I feel about the children and know how strongly I feel about their dreams. And if we save one child, just one child, then maybe a parent doesn't have to go through what my daughter had to go through when she lost her daughter to asthma. So
that's exactly right.
$19 a month. That's the drive-through at Wendy's or the drive-through at McDonald's.
That's right.
So, or it's a couple of packs of cigarettes. I mean, come on, people.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right. And they, like I said, they take care of those families. They, you know, they don't have to pay them anything. They take care of them. Their housing, their, you know, the treatments and food, everything. It's just such a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful thing.
Now I'm going to change gears again because inquiring minds want to know. Who is Lola and how did she get in Howling Screams?
Lola was another, you know, when I started talking about my, you know, this stuff, I know I just sound so crazy. It sounds so crazy to some people.
No, I believe you. I've experienced.
They're like, oh, yeah.
Lola is my favorite character in all your books, from Howling Screams.
You know, Lola was, she was an actual person. She was Gypsy is what she called herself. And I met Lola when I was about 16, maybe 16, something like that. And I went with a girlfriend of mine just for fun, just to go and see her. And she was well known around my area down here. And she lived in this little one-room trailer that, I mean to tell you, this woman had nothing. She had nothing. And she charged nothing. She didn't charge anything. She just, you know, I don't know how, to this day, I don't really know how she lived, how she, you know. But she looked like a gypsy, you know. She looked like a gypsy. And anyway, I went with a friend of mine to see her. And she started talking, and she would talk to my friend, and then she told us right off, now, when I look at you, then I'm talking about you. And when I look away at the other person, then I'm talking to them. And that's how she did. And she told me about my husband, which, you know, I mean, she named him, which I was going with him at the time, but she told me all about him. She told me all about this and that and this and that. Okay, and so then, you know, I'm sitting there thinking, oh, yeah, okay, you know, all right. And so then, before we left, she said, hold on a minute. She said, I want to tell you something. She said, because I know exactly what, you know, you've been sitting here thinking, oh, this crazy old woman. She said, let me tell you something. She said, and then you take this home with you. She said, and don't you say a word to nobody. She said, in about 2 days, she said, your boyfriend, he said, he's going to have a wreck. It's going to be not bad at all. It's going to be like a little fender bender, and he's going to be driving his daddy's old beat-up green truck, and said he's going to stop at a stop sign, and somebody's going to hit him from behind. But it's not going to be bad. Ain't going to hurt anybody. But she said, now you just take that with you, and don't you say a word. Said, when he tells you, then if you want to tell him Lola told me that, then you go right ahead, you know. So I talked about that to Karen. Me and Karen, a girlfriend of mine, we discussed it, you know, going home. I was like, oh, my gosh, you know, this is crazy. This is crazy. And about 3 days later, my husband now, he called, and he said, what are you doing? I said, nothing. And he said, well, you ain't going to believe what happened. I said, what? And he said, Dad's going to kill me. And he said, but I swear it wasn't my fault. And I knew then exactly what he was going to tell me. And he told me. I was driving Dad's truck and stopped, and this fool hit me from behind, you know. And I mean exactly what she had told me.
Wow.
Exactly.
That's amazing.
And you know, a few other things that she had mentioned has happened, and there's been a couple that it had been, one of them was 10 years after I'd seen her. But when it did, I stopped for a minute, and I was like, okay, Lola said that. You know, she said that. And like I said, she was well known around these parts. And my mother had went to see her, and she had told my mother many, many, many things that came to pass. And then at the time, right before I wrote Hollering Screams, I started having dreams about Lola, just from nowhere. And I kept thinking, what in the world? You know, why am I dreaming about her? And she would just pop in my head at different times. And I just got this idea for, you know, I thought, you know what, maybe I'll put her in a book. You know, I'm gonna write a book, and I'll add in a few things, you know, that's actual things, and then I'll throw together, and that's what I did. I mean, that's where Hollering Screams come from.
And ladies and gentlemen, as writers, this is what we do, so beware. We put real-life people in our books, and if they piss us off, we kill them off.
That's exactly right.
It's not illegal, and it's a hell of a lot cheaper than bail.
Ain't that right? I know that's right. Oh, yeah. I know that's right.
I've killed off a few in my day.
I have.
And
I sure have.
And laughed while I did. Yep, and it's so much fun. So
yeah, it is.
Now, let's get to the heart of this matter. Well, before we do that, tell the audience how you got involved with Zodiac Entertainment, because to me that is a very, very interesting story, and the fact that film wound up at the Cannes Film Festival is just beyond probably your wildest dream.
Well, I tell you, this is the deal with that. I'm trying to remember if it was 2010, 2000. It's been a few years back.
It was 2010.
I was on Facebook, whatever, looking around doing this and that, and Dimi Nakov, he had friended me, and I thought, I don't know, because you don't know. And I thought, well, I had thought that I heard my niece speak of him once. So I called her and I said, are you friends with, and she said, yeah. I said, he seems like a really nice guy, and this and that. And I said, okay. Well, I went ahead and friended him. And next thing you know, he was messaging me. And he had, he's seen on there that I was a writer and this and that. And he asked me about Hollowing Screams. He would like to read it. He would really like to have it. I said, hey, I'll send you a copy, So I got a copy out, signed it, whatever, and I sent it over to him. And it's probably about 3 weeks had went by, and he texted me back or messaged me back how much he really, really liked it. He really, really enjoyed it. And not long after that, he told me that he was working on a screenplay. Him and another guy was working on a screenplay called BlindSide. And he just, he said, if you wouldn't mind, would you just take a look at it? Said, I'll send you some pieces of it. Just take a look at it. And if there's anything that you think we could improve on as far as the dialogue for the main character, would you just make, some notations? And I said, sure, why not? So I thought he'll never send it, but he did. And so I started reading through it, and I thought, man, this sounds really good. But, I thought she needs a little bit more. She needs a little bit more dialogue, and so I put a little more dialogue in and changed a little bit of it, and I sent it back, and I was just like, look, this, you may not like that, but you asked me, so. And so the next thing, he sent it back to me changed, like, and everything, and he said, hey, we love that. We love it. We think it, it really improved, helped to bring her out. And he said, if you don't mind, he said, I can't pay you right now. I can't pay you, but he said, if you don't mind, if we go ahead and use it, he said, we want to put you, put your name at the end of the film as the voiceover monologue and, give you credit for that. And, it's on the IMDb page. We'll make sure. And I was just like, yeah.
Sure, why not?
I don't mind. I don't mind at all. And then, like I said, it just one thing went, and it came out, and it was just in every film festival you could possibly dream of. And then he sent me the DVD, which it's a little short. It's about 20 minutes, 25 minutes, but it's really powerful, really powerful.
That DVD myself, I love it.
Yes,
very
I love it. And the cinematography.
A great actor.
Oh yes, and the acting in it, and the just everything, the direction, everything. And then at the very end, when it comes up, there it is, this voiceover monologue, Barbara Watkins. So, I mean, that was just like, I have to pinch myself because that, it just meant a whole lot. And then our relationship just grew. I mean, he's such a sweet, sweet man. And so, then he started reading a little bit more of my other stuff. And so before you knew it, he went ahead. I optioned the Behind the Red Door, and he has Thorns of an Innocent Soul. And they're doing a screenplay. They're doing it up on Behind the Red Door right now. I just talked to him about 3 or 4 weeks ago. So, but he, like I said, I mean, it just came out of nowhere, So when you think that, you're just writing and nobody's reading or seeing or it's not true,
That is very true. You are, Barbara, in that you are so right, because things happen and you don't even know where it came from or how it got there. But people do pay attention. And ladies and gentlemen, real quickly, what Barbara's saying is extremely true. If you are living your dream, people are watching you.
That's right.
They will pick up on that. And if you've got a talent or a craft that they need, oh, yeah, they will find you. Trust me, they will find you.
That's right.
Tell me about it.
Yes.
And
yes.
Out of the blue, they will find you.
Yes.
So, go ahead, Miss Betty.
I'm a living testimony to that.
Yes,
yes,
absolutely.
You are.
We'll get to that when you ask me about Barbara.
Well, that brings me to the thing that y'all been alluding to since the beginning, and Barbara and Betty have been alluding to on Facebook, Six Pack of Blood. Let's talk about that. That is one, ladies and gentlemen, that is one scary book. But it is a marvelous book. I highly recommend it. So I'm going to let you two go with that one.
Which book?
Six Pack.
The 6 Pack of Blood.
Oh, yeah. Okay, Barbara and I met, and she introduced me to Dimi. Then I, in turn, introduced her to Armand Mastroianni, who's been a big help to us. And I know a lot of Hollywood people types because I used to be a journalist, and I did a lot of celebrity interviews. So I know a lot of people. But I didn't know any of those. One thing led to another, and Demi was interested in the 6-pack, both of them, 6-Pack of Blood and 6-Pack of Fear, that Barbara and I both wrote. She wrote 3 stories in each one, and I wrote 3 stories in each one. And so Demi was interested in them, but he waited too long. And all of a sudden, people were picking up on mine first, and I couldn't believe it. This lady in Florida, a producer in Florida, wanted to do heavy metal, and then another one had dibs in for the Snack, which are 2 of mine, and so the Snack got done first by Mina Only, a producer in Florida, and it won 3 film festivals for different things, like Best Actor for the Male Actor, and then Best Story Idea, and I can't remember the other one. But anyway, there were 3 film festivals that the Snack went in. Then all of a sudden, Jeffrey Chris was interested in me, and all of a sudden I met this lady named Jennifer Dawn Anderson Bounds. And we became really good friends, and she's a producer out of Arkansas, Waldron, Arkansas. And she wanted to do the Snack, and it had already been done. So since the first woman producer had been in an accident and couldn't complete heavy metal, she picked up on heavy metal. And I'll tell you, the minute that took off, Armand Mastroianni came in as executive producer. We got Al Pacino's stepmother, Kat Pacino, in as the main lead in it, and all kinds of wonderful people came in to that. And they even flew from New Zealand, this Phil Palmer, a great actor. He flew, and Kat and them flew also from Hollywood to Waldron, Arkansas. And they did that picture there, and then she put them to work in a couple other things she had going on. Jennifer's a dynamo of activity. She's done like 6 films in a year, you know.
Wow.
But anyway, the heavy metal one, suddenly I had told her that I would really like to see all 12 of our stories somehow be into a series like Rod Serling, you know, Think Big. And
yeah, exactly.
I told her that probably 8 months ago. Then all of a sudden, after she did heavy metal and she sees the interest in it, and she got to know a lot of other people and everything, she came up with a fantastic idea. She branched out into the United Kingdom with another branch of Forbidden Tears Productions and into New Zealand. So she has 3 different countries now. And she came up with the idea to do 7 of our stories. She was originally going to do all mine. And I said, I felt one day, I thought of Barbara. Oh, my God, you know, I'm being so selfish, just thinking of me. And here Barbara and I started these together, and her stories are every bit as good as mine. It's just who sees them at the right time, the right place. And I said, I want Barbara included. And so she was all for it. Heck yeah. So anyway, we got a hold of Barbara, and she agreed to come in with us, and we signed a contract. And now Barbara and I are both going to be in, I'm having 4 and she's having 3. She's doing 7 of them. And she might even keep the heavy metal title, I'm not sure. But it's going to be an anthology of short horror films, and they'll stand alone as separate DVDs. In fact, the heavy metal one's out now, and it's premiering tomorrow night in the UK at the 7 Mile Out Club. And Jennifer's setting up her cameras and everything right now so they can stream it tomorrow. So we're really excited about that. And then the next one, she's alternating me and Barbara, but she already had heavy metal done. So she started the next one in New Zealand with producer Kevin Luck and producer Phil Palmer to do my GPS, Saving the GPS Lady. So then Barbara's the next one to get filmed, and I think Jennifer's working on the screenplay now. Now, Barbara, did she choose your Hellion, Highway to Hell to do first?
I know one of them was Strangers, or The Stranger. I think she...
The Stranger's Son and Highway to Hell, and then Deadly Addictions are the 3 of yours that she's going to produce. I thought she started with Hellion, but she could have started with The Stranger.
Yeah.
Anyway, she's working on the screenplay now, and so Barbara's will be next in line, and then it'll go back and forth between Barbara and I, and they'll all be in this one film at the end. And we're trying to think now who would be the good moderator like Serling was, and then the Grave Tales from the Crypt. We want to make it like that in between with a story that ties them together, you know?
Yeah.
So anyway, I'm so excited for myself, and I'm so excited for Barbara. And
absolutely. Because,
yeah, she's
again...
And Jennifer's fast, too. She doesn't make you wait years, you know? Yeah, she's really...
And again, it's things come out of nowhere.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I wanted to say how I met Jennifer. Okay, Armand I met, well, I don't need to bring him in again. Anyway, this man named Michael McGregor was head of Real World Entertainment, and he was my agent for a short while, and wonderful man. And he told me about Jennifer, and then the first thing I saw that Jennifer wrote was she was angry. Some producer had done her wrong that was supposed to come in with her, and then they tried to steal her script, and, those stories. So anyway, she was really spouting off, and I said, that feisty little redhead, And so anyway, she was upset, and she was trying to get money to recoup. She had one of those, what do you call them, donation set up? Indiegogo. Yeah, like that. And so she was only asking for $5. So before, I never gave any less than $25, and I was always a believer in, I do give money to other producers, but I've never given less than $25. So I thought, well, I'm going to take her on her word, and I'm going to start the ball rolling. So I sent $5, and I told her, this will get your ball rolling, and we started talking, and pretty soon she asked me to be casting director of To the Top, which is an anti-bully film, one of a trilogy of anti-bully films she has going, and she wanted me to be the casting director because I knew so many people. So I did. I got, the Beach Boys and a whole bunch of people in there for her. But they're not actually acting in the film. It's montages, pictures of them in the film. And it's very clever the way she's working it out. So anyway, one thing led to another, and pretty soon she had me as co-producer on several films. And then, I thought, gee, I want to pitch for my own stories. And so then when she heard about the snack with Mina and then heavy metal, I hit on that a little earlier. Then that led to her doing my films, and then my being associated with Barbara led to Barbara being filmed.
It's like a thread. We have a caller, and they have been really, really patient. Hello, caller, and what is your name?
This is Forbidden Tears Productions.
Oh,
well, hello. And how are you ladies doing?
We are fine. So glad to have you with us. I'm sorry I made you wait, but Betty was telling a wonderful, wonderful story about you. Welcome to the show.
Well, your show is very interesting, and I'm Jennifer.
It's nice to meet you, Jennifer.
Your guests are very interesting. Hello, Barbara. Hello, Betty.
Hello, sweetie. Hello. How are
you? Are you guys behaving on the air over there?
Oh, yeah. I'm behaving because I can't hardly talk.
Yeah, okay.
Well, I got to tell you, you're very interesting. I'm very proud to work with you. And your interview is just wonderful, Yvonne, and it is so nice to meet you.
Well, it's nice. And since I have a captive audience, since I have you in the palm of my hand, so to speak, please friend me so I can get you on my show.
All right, I sure will.
Oh, I want Jennifer on your show, Yvonne.
That's what I'm saying. I want her on my show. It's imperative that she come on my show.
You can go on Jennifer's show, too. Jennifer's got a radio show.
Well, we'll just swap a show.
Well, yes, we'll have to have each other on our shows. I find you very interesting, and yes.
And I didn't tell you half of
so to speak.
Jennifer she's a dynamo. I mean,
well, I'd also like to,
I know a lot of women that are very active, like you and Barbara and me, and I mean, Ashley Fontaine, Joanna. We take the world by storm. This woman, she takes on so much at one time.
Well, and I haven't said anything up to this point, but I would like to announce, Barbara, I think I'm going to go with Highway to Hell.
Oh,
okay,
good.
that's what I
thought. So you heard it here first.
That's the one I'm
so glad.
It first here on this show, Highway to Hell.
On this show, I have made the first announcement for what Barbara's first film will be. I will shoot it myself here in Arkansas.
Oh,
and I am very
so
honored
glad
to be able to shoot that one. Now, I know GPS is being shot in my company in New Zealand, and we're looking forward to that, but I want to shoot Highway to Hell myself.
Oh, I love that. Oh, that's that is an early Christmas gift, indeed.
Well, Merry Christmas, and I also believe in your cause and your passion.
Thank you.
I, too, have passions, and I do believe in the children, as you know, so I want to tell you how proud I was to hear about that also. And I didn't want to take up your show. I wanted to surprise you guys and jump in just a little bit. And Yvonne, thank you for having my ladies on, and look forward to
you
talking
might tell them about your passion for the theater that you're starting in Waldron, Arkansas.
Yes, tell us.
It's called Alley Cat Theater.
Alley Cat Community Theater of Waldron. And there is nothing for the children to do here. They don't have drama classes in the schools. There's no arts, that kind of thing here. So I have chosen to start a community theater here. And the chief of police, the fire, the ambulance, they act in all of my films. And I like to bring dreams to people, to be able to give them their dreams. And the chief of police's dream is to teach acting. So the mayor approached me and said he had a building for me. So it was a donate with a little bit of cost. So I paid the cost, and we're starting a community theater for the town here. And I want to
host a donation site. Do you mind giving that link? What's your donation site?
Yeah, Alley Cat, the Alley Cat Theater of Waldron. It's on Facebook. And I have sent you a friend request, Yvonne, and I will jet you that link as well. You can find it under ALLEYKAT, Alley Cat Theater.
Yeah. Well, Miss Jennifer, if you were in front of me, I would give you a big old fat Georgia hug, just to squeeze the life out of you.
Southern girl, I like that. So, yes, I want to bring the community theater. So we got the building, and we are taking donations and whatnot, and we're going to fix the roof and do some remodeling, and we want to do some film fests, music fests, host some bands, concerts, do some theater, bring Broadway in, and bring in some plays, dances, dance theater, and just bring in some culture and art and entertainment into the community. Let the kids act, teach them how to do that, teach them to run equipment, and maybe bring out a few futures.
Well, let me tell you, Jennifer, Barbara and Betty know this. This show is heard all over the world.
Oh, that's wonderful. I did not know that.
Yes, this show is heard all over the world. I have over 6,000-plus listeners, because what happens when this show goes off the air and it archives, it automatically uploads on iTunes. It automatically uploads on Stitcher. Then I upload it on SoundCloud, Mixcloud, Podcast.com, Spreaker, and Podomatic, and Hipcast. Spreaker takes it and uploads it to TuneIn Radio and YouTube.
Wow.
Very cool.
All right.
You got it going on, girl.
Absolutely.
Yeah, well, tomorrow night I want all of them to be looking on our website.
Thank you for...
Jennifer's going to stream our premiere from the United Kingdom.
There you go.
Please watch.
Yes, we will be live streaming. I've been working with equipment and camera and Skyping all day with the UK and giving direction and all of that over Skype to people who don't understand film technology. But we are getting lighting, everything's set up. We are going to live stream the premiere, but I'm not showing the ending. So people will have to wait for the ending. I won't give a spoiler alert, but I'm very honored to have an international premiere, and very honored to have Betty Dravis on my team, Barbara Watkins on my team. Very proud of you both. Love you very much, and very glad you signed with me and signed contract. And
we also signed a book publishing contract recently with Jennifer. She does it all.
Yes, Blood and Tears Publishing, and we are taking they have never had their book to print, so we are going to bring their book to print.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
All mine are in
wonderful.
Print. 6-pack
so,
ones.
Barbara, let me ask you this.
They're going to be in print.
Were you suitably surprised on your show tonight, my friend?
I'm just speechless, really.
Well, Merry Christmas, you guys. I'm going to fade out of here quietly into the night and let you ladies
Jennifer,
finish
nobody
your night.
fades out of my show quietly.
I'm going to hit it like a stud, and I'm going to take off running.
This is why we call it off
later.
Today.
Merry Christmas, Barbara Watkins.
Merry Christmas. Love you,
All
Jennifer.
right, I'm hitting the highway to hell. I'm out of here, Yvonne. I'll talk to you later. Betty
All right,
Davis, behave yourself.
All right,
Bye-bye. Chicks out of here.
Thank you, and God bless you.
What was that, amazing or what?
Yeah.
It's just everything is it's all just such a blessing. I was telling Betty, and I told you, Yvonne, this past year had really been tough as far as family illnesses happening, and I've had to travel a lot back and forth, and I hadn't written very much of anything. It had really got tough. And then out of the blue, Yvonne,
and I don't take no for an answer.
She's like, come on my show. This was way back. And I'm like, but Yvonne, I don't really have anything going on. And she's like, yeah, you do. Come on my show, And then it wasn't, it wasn't a few weeks later that Betty, so blessed to know both you ladies, but Betty contacts me about all this. And I'm like, I'm sitting there one day just with nothing going on and not sure if, and then all this. And so, it's
overwhelming.
You just never, it's overwhelming, but you never give up on your dream, and you just, you keep it, in your heart, and then you're around these blessed people, and so honored to be friends. And like you said, I wish we was all in one room, because I'd just be slobbering all over, and then everybody'd be sick.
A group hug, everybody. Group hug.
And I believe we will. I believe we'll all meet. I believe we will.
Oh, yeah, we will.
Great.
And I'm just blessed. I feel blessed all the way around.
Well, the thing is, this show has been on the air since July the 29th. My first show was with my daughter, the one that we lost the baby.
Yes. Yep.
This show has taken on its own life form. I have shows booked into March, working on April. And what I'm doing, I'm bringing you back, Barbara, and the reason I bring my guests back, and Betty, I'm hooking up with you because you're coming on my show. Me and you
talking about my books.
But what happens is I don't just bring my guest in one time and then forget about them, because I want them to stay out there so that people will always know there's always something going on in that artist's life. It's important, because that's how you get exposure. That's how you stay known. That's how you sell your product overseas.
Right.
Yep. That's right.
So, ladies, and we've got like 5 minutes left. So I'm going to give each of you 2 minutes to let our audience know, because we've got dreamers out there.
Oh, yeah. I'm still a dreamer.
Like you said, Barbara, you kept your dream in your heart through all the stuff you were going through. And life isn't about stuff. It just is. So first, you, Barbara, tell dreamers how to keep their dreams real and how to make them live.
Well, it's first off, you don't. You keep your friends. You keep them close. You keep in contact with them. You cherish them, and you cherish your dreams. Because, like you said, everybody goes through their own their tragedies, their health problems, their family problems, this and that. But you've got to have something, you got to have something bright, a star in there somewhere shining to hold on to. And, don't let it go. And do not listen to these people that say it's never going to happen. You're never going to get there. You're never going to, just give it up. I couldn't tell you the amount of times, you know, from the first time I started writing to, you know, negative reviews and this and that. Well, don't just keep, you know, reaching, like Betty knows, keep reaching for that star. You know, and if it may take a long time. It may be years before, you know.
40 years like it was with me, but you just keep doing it.
But you just keep going. You keep going, and you keep believing. You keep believing in yourself and in your dream.
Betty, real quick, what's your advice?
Okay. Now, are you talking to Barbara or me?
You, my friend, you.
Oh, okay. My advice is never give up, because I'll be 88 on December 20th, and all this film stuff came since my 86th birthday, and now I have like 6 or 8 films out there, and I never really dreamed of the films as much as I did the books, and I am a success. I've always been a success, because I was a newspaper publisher, owned my own newspaper, started out as a reporter and built myself up. And so the newspaper raised my 6 children. So I've never felt like a failure or anything. But then when I retired and started writing books, I thought it would be really easy, because I was used to getting all my stuff in print, you know, and it was really hard to attract New York, and I got 3 or 4 good nibbles from New York, but nothing ever developed from them. So finally I gave up on that and started doing my own thing. And I always say, in God's perfect timing for you. Now, he had a reason with books that he didn't want me to have my films out when I was young. And I don't know what the reason is, but I got my books out, and he's been very good to me. And I believe in paying back, too. I always push other authors. I post their things on my page, their books, their release dates, and all things like that. I like helping people, and I think that's part of it.
So, ladies and gentlemen, as I say at the end of every show, there's only 2 things that are given. That is our life and our death. What we do in between that is up to us. And at the end of our days, when we're laying on our deathbed and some wise ass says, do you have any regrets? And you look at them and you say, well, then you've got regrets. We're not promised tomorrow. We're not even promised the next hour. So if you have a dream, and this is what I tell every one of my guests and every one of my listeners, if you have a dream, you grab that dream and run with it like you stole it. Mm-hmm. You keep that dream in front of you, and everything that you do in your life, you put it towards that dream. I don't care if it's a garbage collector, because God knows we need those people. They're important.
That's right.
I would have garbage piled up to my roof if I didn't have garbage collectors. But you follow that dream. And as my brother who is handicapped says, failure is never an option. If you tried and it didn't work out, you didn't fail. But if you didn't try and you're on your deathbed, you failed because you did not try. So, ladies, real quick, I want to say thank you both for being here. And, Jennifer, if you're still listening, you made their nights and you made my day. So thank you, all 3 of you ladies. I can't wait to hook up with her. I appreciate all of you spending your time with me. And when our show ends, y'all don't hang up, because we're going to talk a couple of minutes.
Well, thank you so much for having me.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Tomorrow night, Arthur Robbie Cox will be back on right before Christmas, because he's got some things going on. Friday night, Ellen O'Neill, she's a businesswoman. She's got all kinds of good stuff for us. On Saturday night, Miranda Shakeling, who is also an author, will be on. Next Wednesday night, the author of the Rambo books. If you ladies know Rambo, then you know who I'm talking about. David Morrell. Been trying to get this man forever. He will be on next Wednesday night, 8 o'clock. You wanna get on here and listen, because he talks about a character in his books that just came out that was a real character in England. on Thursday night, my weekly talk with Floyd Potts. You don't want to miss that. So, live, love like yourself, enjoy life, live your dream, and understand that all we have is right now. That tomorrow's not promised. So if you've got a dream, you need to start living it. Love your family, love your children, and protect our future. Our future are our children. And with that, this is Off the Chain. I am your host, Yvonne Mason, saying good evening until tomorrow night. Okay, we are now off the air. But anything we say will be, anything we will say will show up in archives. See, that's the advantage of people that listen to the show in archives. They get to hear it's like the outtakes, and when you watch the credits. But when we get off here and I let this show go into archives, when I upload the podcast, I will tag both of y'all in it. And y'all use it however you want. That's my gift to y'all.
Awesome. Love
and that way, we'll promote the books, it will promote the film, it will promote Jennifer, promote y'all, and people can start coming to y'all saying, when's it going to be out, when's it going to be out, when's it going to be out.
Oh, wonderful. Thank you.
Just so appreciative, Yvonne. So appreciative.
Well, honey, you're coming back, and I'm gonna send Miss Betty some dates and send you some dates and get y'all set up for next year. And I'm gonna get Jennifer some dates because I want her on the show too. And maybe what we can do when the films are ready to roll out, do a special night and do an hour and a half with all three of you.
Wow,
that would be neat. Yeah. That'd be really neat.
Yeah, you're a cool lady, Yvonne.
Oh, well, she is. I'm going to tell you, I've known Yvonne, not personally talked to her, but way back when what was your first book, Yvonne? Was it Silent Screams or was it?
No, the first book was Dreamcatcher. Failure was never an option.
Okay, Dreamcatcher. I've got Dreamcatcher, Silent Scream, Bloody Alley. What was it? Blood Alley, The Pink Canary. I don't know. I was like, I couldn't get enough.
Yeah, I came in before The Pink Canary. I remember I read a few of her books. I didn't read them all, but we've been friends since 2012 because when I looked you up today, that popped up.
I know.
4 years.
I've got one of them in there where you signed it and sent a little bookmark deal. I've got that in there. And
was that Tangled Minds or was that Brilliant Insanity?
I think it was Brilliant Insanity. I believe that's what it was. All I know is I couldn't get enough, and I just I started looking everything up about Yvonne. I felt like I'd known you forever, and just your style of writing was, Oh,
honey, you made my day. You made
my
year.
I mean, I have never forgot. I mean, I've got some my older grandsons have read your books here. They like stuff like that. And then when I heard you was going to be on the ID channel, I was like on the phone calling. You got this is Yvonne. This is the lady I was telling you about. And remember the book you wrote? And so, yeah, it's just
but now
extraordinary.
They're doing it in England. Yeah, they're doing the documentary in England too.
I thought I'd seen something about that on there.
And when I said when I was telling the audience that you do your thing, people will find you. Well, it was. I get this email from this female, and she says, my name is so-and-so, and I'm with so-and-so Productions, and we're here in Florida, and we're doing a documentary on killer cops, and we're doing a piece on Gerard Schaefer. We would like to meet with you. I'm thinking, okay, I'm going to go do my research first. This old white woman didn't fall off that truck yesterday.
Right.
That was about 2 years ago, wasn't it?
No, this was back during the summer.
Yeah,
It just
just
happened. Yeah. So
you had
I looked
something
up.
going on about a year and a half ago. I can't remember what it
I've
was.
always got something going on. There's
I mean it.
It's always
got
something going on. So I looked them up, and yes, they are a company out of the UK and Australia, and they were owned. The company was founded by Rupert Murdoch, who owns Fox News Channel. Well, he sold it, but anyway, I went and met with them, and I asked them. I said, "How did y'all find me? Because I'm not that hard to find." And they said they went and interviewed Robert Crowder, who was the sheriff of Martin County, who was Gerard Schaefer's boss. And Robert asked them if they had talked to me, and they said, no, who is she and why should we? He said, she's just the leading expert on Schaefer. If anything you want to know about Schaefer, you need to ask her because she is the expert.
Wow.
So they contacted me, and it's real difficult for me to leave my husband because he's disabled, and I don't leave him home alone for any length of time. He's only got 2 working valves in his heart, and he doesn't walk anymore. So I had to scramble around and get my girlfriend to come and stay with him, and it all just fell into place. But
it's something.
You just don't ever know.
You never know.
And y'all know how I feel about my victims.
Yeah.
They haunt me. Even this latest one, Justice for Cindy, haunts me because...
Yeah, I've got to get that.
Oh, you will throw up when you read that. Not because it's a bad book, but because of what the state of Oregon did, what the criminal justice system did.
Well...
They were complicit in 2 more crimes after he got out the first time for killing Cindy. So yeah, you'll want to go to Oregon and get in the state legislature and pound your fist on the table. It's horrible, horrible, horrible. It took me a long, long time to write that book because I got physically sick.
Yeah, I can imagine.
But it's what I do. It's what I do.
Yep.
But enough about me. This is about y'all. I am so excited that Jennifer called. I am just...
I was blown away.
Yeah, I told her to call.
Oh, it's great.
Yeah, I wanted her
to hear from her.
Yeah.
It's marvelous. I'm so proud of you, ladies. So excited.
So she could catch me in some lies.
Well,
dear.
on that note, my friends, I'm going to hop off of here. I'm going to let this show go to archives.
Okay, thank you, Yvonne. And we'll be in touch.
All right, and I'll send y'all dates, and we'll get shows set up for both of you, and I'll send Jennifer dates, and then I'll get her to keep me in the loop, and as this thing starts getting ready to launch, we'll just do an hour-and-a-half show with all 3 of you.
All righty. Thank you so much. And Barbara, it's a joy always to hear your voice.
Always
love
a joy.
Guys.
Always. Love you.
Bye-bye.
Love you guys.
And we'll talk later.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
When you don't go to Geico.com, car insurance can be hard. Like early 90s heavy metal hard.
I'm yelling and screaming and I'm loud. Roar!
Geico makes it easy. You can review and update your policy or report a claim on Geico.com or the Geico mobile app. Because shouldn't we all have a little less stress in our lives?
I'm not even upset about anything!
It's the most wonderful time of the year, and with help from Safeway, it doesn't have to be stressful. Safeway can help stretch your holiday budget and make things extra special. Get choice beef rib roast, just $6.99 a pound, or Hormel Cure 81 spiral sliced ham, $1.59 a pound, limit 2. Pair with sweet potatoes for only 49 cents a pound. For more great deals on festive favorites, save up to $80 with in-app coupons. Tastier meats, fresher produce, happier holidays. Safeway, happy to be your new neighborhood store at 950 East Commercial Boulevard, Oakland Park.